Hi, class. Ready for some more Wishtree read alouds? I'm hanging out with Miles. Super cool Bronco stuffy. And I'm wearing my amazing, um, ugly vest sweater for the Broncos. It's amazing. I'm going to take it off after this, though, and put on my normal clothes because it's a little warm. All right. Let's hang out with Miles. Where could I put him so you can see him? I'm on chapter 27, and we're going to try to figure out what plan number 3 is for Red and Bongo to make sure that Samar and Steven can become friends. All right, once night had fallen, I sent Bongo on our next mission. All you have to do is untie Samar's wish, I instructed. Oh, she said, is that all? Bongo flew to the low branch where Samar had tied her pink dotted fabric scrap. She yanked on it with her beak several times. Easier said than done, she reported. You're a crow. Use a tool. Crows are well known for making and using tools. They're probably the brainiest birds around. Bongo poked and considered. There's that word again, considered. I have a paperclip in my collection. I'll give that a shot. It'll never work, Agnes predicted from her nest. I think owls are secretly a bit jealous of crows. One by one, heads poked out of the hollows, as well as the skunk den under the porch, to watch Bongo at work. What's Bongo doing, Ma? Asked one of the ewes. It's called tool use, said Big U. No big deal. Folks, if you can't say anything helpful, I said, please don't say anything at all. Bongo returned with a small piece of twisted metal. Straightened paperclip, she explained. Found it in a school playground. With great effort, she managed to slide the straight end of the paperclip into the knot. But try as she might, she couldn't pull the knot free. Almost got it, muttered between her clenched beak. Why is Bongo doing that? Harold asked Agnes. There's no explaining crows, Agnes said. Because I asked her to, I said, because it's important to me. With a frustrated groan, Bongo let the paperclip fall to the ground. It's no use, Red, she said. Maybe it's time to give up on this idea, I said with a sigh. I'm not meant to help. I'm meant to just sit here. Just sit. A gentle wind rippled my leaves. No one spoke. Wait just a minute, said Big U. Maybe I can lend you a paw. You're awfully heavy for that branch, Agnes pointed out. Let her try, I said. Carefully, Big U inched her way out onto the limb where Samar's wish was tied. She was indeed heavy, and my branch bowed under her weight, but I held firm. She toyed with the knot, using both front paws. Before long, she pulled the strip free. Ta-da! She cried, clenching the fabric in her right paw. Well, I did the hard part, Bongo sulked. It was a joint effort, I said. Teamwork, and much appreciated, both of you. You have to wish, said Agnes. You have the wish, said Agnes. Now what, Red? Now we wait until Samar comes to visit, I said, and then Bongo works her magic. Ooh, what's it gonna be? Alright, chapter 28, page 119. The moon bathed us all in cool blue light as we awaited Samar's nightly visit. She came out in her robe and slippers, sitting on her blanket. She waited patiently as the baby scrambled over to see her. Around her neck, she was wearing a berry bond key that Bongo had given her. Berry boned? Berry boned? I don't know what word is. So I gotta write that one down and learn what that is. Where's my crow friend? She whispered as the ewes somersaulted in front of her. She looked up into the branches, and I was glad I instructed Bongo to hide on Stephen's roof. Right on schedule, Bongo flew to Stephen's bedroom window. She settled on the sill. Samar's fabric scrap dangled in her beak. Carefully, she tapped on Stephen's window. Nothing happened. I told Bongo to be as quiet as possible. We didn't want Samar to see what we were up to. Tap, 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 louder this time. Still, nothing. Stephen apparently was quite a sound sleeper. Bongo looked at me. Her eyes said, now what? She tried again. Tap, tap, tap. Samar started. What was that? She asked. Fortunately, Harold distracted her with an attempt to fly onto her arm. It was more awkward hop than flight, and Samar giggled. Good going, little Harold, I thought. Nice job. Bongo dropped Samar's wish onto the sill. Tap, tap, tap. You can kind of see Stephen's window with the little piece of fabric right there. Nothing. She paced back and forth in front of the window. Then she froze. Her eyes glinted in the moonlight. Bongo leaned close to the glass and performed her very best fire engine siren. By the time Stephen's window flew open, Bongo was already back on the roof, watching her efforts pay off. Stephen peered out. He rubbed his eyes. He noticed the scrap on his sill. Frowning, he held it up, catching the moonlight in order to read the words written on the fabric. He looked down at the lawn. There was Samar looking up at him, surrounded by an odd collection of baby animals. You rock, Bongo. Chapter 29. When Stephen eased out the front door, he was wearing red pajamas and a gray sweatshirt. His light brown hair was mussed, his eyes bleary. The flashlight he was carrying sliced through the darkness. The babies turned toward him and froze. Their eyes glowed like little moons. Flash squealed in fear. Stephen clicked off his light, and Flash seemed to calm a bit, although he was definitely hiccuping. Hey, Stephen whispered. Hi, Samar whispered back. Stephen sat down next to Samar. The babies watched with interest. Why do they come to you? Stephen asked. I don't know. It's like magic. No, Samar shook her head. I'm just quiet. They like that. Bongo flew down to Samar's shoulder. Hello, she said to Stephen, mimicking Samar's voice. Wow, he said. That's amazing. Yesterday I heard her imitate a doorbell. Stephen grinned. She gave me this key, Samar said, holding it up. I don't know what it's for. A diary or a jewelry box, maybe? Or the world's smallest door, Stephen joked. For a while, everyone fell silent. Even the baby raccoons were still. At last, Stephen held out his hand, revealing Samar's wish. I found this, he said. Even in the moonlight, Samar's blush was visible. She looked away. I'm sorry about that word, Stephen said softly. The word on the tree. It wasn't us. Samar nodded. My parents aren't bad people. They're just afraid of things, Stephen shrugged. So are mine, said Samar. I heard my father talking about moving. If we can find a safe place to go. She gave a sad smile. If there even is such a place. So that gives us a little clue of how Samar's family's feeling right now. They wrote that word leave, and they're starting to feel, out Jordan, that they're not safe at their house anymore. So that's a little concerning that they feel like they're not safe anymore. I'm sorry, Stephen said again. The babies, sensing Stephen could be trusted, began to tussle and romp. Harold and the smallest. You searched for bugs. Rose Petal on her brother. Hot buttered popcorn played tug-of-war with a long piece of grass. I'll miss them, Samar said. I hope you don't move, Stephen said. A light blinked on Stephen's house. I should go, he said. If my parents see me, I should go. Night, Samar said in a whisper. Oh, the things I wanted to say to those two. I wanted to tell them that the friendship doesn't have to be hard, that sometimes we let the world make it hard. I wanted to tell them to keep talking. I wanted to make a difference, just a little difference before I left this lovely world. And so I did it. I broke the rule. Stay, I said. I'm going to stop here. I know you guys are probably mad. So Red finally broke the rule and said stay to Samar and Stephen, and all the animals were right there too. So that's going to be exciting to figure out what happens and what made him break the rule at that moment. He didn't want them to go, I guess, and even though they had talked and maybe started a friendship. But that was kind of cool. So Red did that. I like it. So thanks for listening to those 3 chapters. Wishtree with my buddy Miles. And I will see you guys next time.